That's Borescope Tone here, guys. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a pretty interesting one. It's a 2012 Hyundai Genesis with a turbo engine, and the complaint was after replacing the turbo, there's no power and there's a rattle. So let's get into this. So here we are on the underside of this Hyundai, and I suspected that we had a catalytic converter issue, and so I pulled the downpipe off right here. And as you can see, the substrate looks good. There's no issues down below. But now to get this downpipe off, these nuts were seized. They only moved a half a turn, and then that was it, and they were stuck. So let me show you how I got them off. So I got the Inductive Innovations Mini Ducter, Venom 2 right here. Okay, so I made a big mistake on this first nut. I heated it up red hot, took 25 seconds. From stone cold to glowing red hot. And I decided to take it off by hand. So I got a hand ratchet and I ratcheted it off. And it came off about not quite a quarter of an inch. And then it got stuck again. So I had to heat it up again. And this time I heated it up. You can see right there, there's a little gap, kind of hard to see. So this time I heated it up, and instead of using a hand ratchet, I decided to use an impact, and it came right off. Now the problem with this side, as you'll see in a minute, is that I damaged the threads by letting it get stuck. So there it is, red hot. And I'm going to gun it off. And now you'll see the threads in just a minute, where they're discolored in the center, right there. And I ended up having to replace that stud because the threads. Now the other nut, I got red hot, and I just went straight to the impact. Used the M18, my big Milwaukee, make sure I didn't have any issues. Got it red hot. There it is, glowing red, looks like lava. Got my big Milwaukee. I have music playing in the background, so I had to edit that out so you can't hear it. But anyways, zap that off, and you'll see the threads don't even look like they had a nut on them at all. Look at that. Amazing. So don't loosen things by hand if you're going to use this inductive heater. So after getting the nuts off with the mini ducter, you can see that the threads on the studs still look brand new. They still look absolutely fantastic. This one looks better because I gunned this one off. I'm still new to using the induction heater. The other side I took off by hand. So it started to turn and then it got stuck again. I heated it up and then I took it the rest of the way off. The other side I decided to use my big Milwaukee and zap it off. So since the cat down here looks good, the only thing I can come to conclusion is that there was something from the turbo that went down into the cat. So let's take a look at it. We're going to use a new tool. All right, here's the top of this Hyundai here with the turbo. So it was missing one of the bolts on the heat shield. I went ahead and took the heat shields off here. Didn't find anything. Like I said, they put a new turbo in, and then all of a sudden they had no power, and it rattled. So the O2 hole is here, and the O2 hole comes in at that angle, but the cat is here. So it's impossible to put a borescope in there and see the whole perimeter of the cat. So I have a new tool. Oh, check this out. Got the new Milwaukee light right here. Look at that. So I got a new tool that we're going to check out to look in here and see what's going on. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to come in a case like this, and you have your manual here. You're going to open up your manual, and it's going to instruct you to, you can either take a picture and get the app, or you can go to your app store and you can get the app there. So I have already installed the app on my wife's phone so that way I can film this, but this is what it looks like right here. You're going to get this app, you're going to open it up. So here's what's in the case. You have the Borescope here, you have the attachment for your phone, and you have the cords here. You have a cord to charge the device. You need to charge this, and I'll show you why. And then you're gonna have a cord to hook up your phone to this. So one thing I'd like to add as I'm hooking this up is most devices that you have this attachment here for your phone, it is plastic and your screw is plastic and everything is really cheap. So this right here is metal, this is metal, and this is heavy. I would drop it on my countertop just to show you how heavy this is, but this is a very well-built device to hold your phone. So here's what it's going to look like right here. You're going to have your phone set up here. You're going to have it screwed down. And like I said, this is very, very strong. You're going to plug your phone into the device, and then we're going to power the device on. I've already charged this. So we've powered the device on, and then now we're going to, it thinks it's charging. And then here your phone's going to ask you if it's okay if it uses the device. Okay, so now you see that we have a black hole here, and that is because it comes with a very nice tip, a cap on the tip, and a very cool light. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like right here. Your phone is going to display whatever is on the Borescope. Now, the cool thing about this is most Borescopes, most of the time with the Borescope, when you're down in a cylinder, you're having to grab the Borescope and twist it around to get a view on this. But what is really cool about this Borescope is from this metal, this section right here is flexible. So, and the lights are really, really cool. And we're going to see this in action also on a car. But now, so you ask, whoa, it's moving. That's crazy. So what this is, it has a joystick and you can move it left, right, and you can spin it around in a circle. So we're going to go to the left and then to the right. It's obviously backwards because of the way it's holding. And now try to spin it in a circle. There you go. And now you can spin it in a circle. So now we're going to put the end of the Borescope inside the oxygen sensor hole, and you can see, we can see directly across the cat, but we can't see straight down below. So we're going to use this articulating Borescope and start looking around, and you see all the little pieces of metal, and then look at all that. So the previous turbo obviously exploded, and it's all inside the catalytic converter, blocking up the cat. So every time this thing will be running, all that metal would be bouncing around in there, causing a rattle. And then obviously we have a lack of power because the old turbo is inside of the cat. But look at how awesome that is, that you can just run the Borescope all the way around the entire surface of the cat and see everything clear as day. I'm going to push it down inside. It's down a little bit further, and you can see just how clear the camera is. Look at the little pieces of metal that you can see. Look at that. So now we've used the Borescope to look down. Now let's look up and backwards. So now we're looking up inside of the turbo. You can see the wastegate and the impeller. Now here's another instance. We had a CRV that we replaced the fuel tank in because someone drilled a hole and the customer couldn't put gas in it. So we put the Borescope down the whole fuel filler tube, and we could see that the paint from the inside of the fuel tank, they painted it. And so the paint is coming off and not allowing fuel to go down inside. So now we're going to pull the rubber hose off, and just to see what kind of camera. So now that we pulled the big glob of paint out of there, and now you can see the paint is all down there, stuck on the anti-siphon flap. Look at that. So after watching this, if you've never seen an articulating Borescope, I'm sure that you felt the same way I did, that just mind blown. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had heard about them. Somebody messaged me one time and said they had I was looking for a Borescope or something, and somebody's like, oh, I have one that moves around. I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way. And I looked and I searched them up. I'm like, there's no way it could work that good. And I got this one, and I just can't believe it. So stay tuned for the next video. The next video will be me actually going down in a spark plug hole and looking back up. I've been buried in diesels. I haven't even hardly touched many gas engines lately. So stay tuned for that video. I'm really curious to see what it looks like looking up at the valves. So, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, you get notified of all my future content, which you definitely don't want to miss. See you next time.